President Bongbong Marcos says he will meet with United States President Donald Trump to discuss various areas of cooperation, including the Trump's stricter immigration policies. In an interview in Cebu City on Thursday, January 30, Marcos says he will meet with President Trump to discuss various issues between the Philippines and the U.S.
I will meet with President Trump because there's much that we need to discuss between the U.S. and the Philippines in terms of the trade, in terms of defense and security, and now the new policy on immigration.
According to Marcos, he hopes to resolve the issue on immigration with Trump, especially after some Filipinos were already sent back to the Philippines from U.S.
Nagpauwi na yata ng ilang daan na Pilipino. So this is something that we have to work through and hopefully resolve, because the Filipinos in the United States especially have really formed a very important part already of their workforce.
However, there are no definite details yet on the said meeting. Since Trump's announcement, Philippine Ambassador to the United States Jose Manuel Romualdez has said that 24 Filipinos were already deported due to alleged involvement in illegal activities. Meanwhile, during the Saturday News Forum last January 25, Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo C. de Vega advised overstaying Filipinos in the U.S. to keep a low profile and legalize their stay. President Bongbong Marcos says the government is a solid footing in terms of constitutionality in relation to the petition challenging the legality of the 2025 General Appropriations Act. In an interview in Cebu City on Thursday, January 30, Marcos was asked to comment on a petition filed before the Supreme Court, which seeks to question the constitutionality of the national budget over alleged blank items in the Bicameral Conference Committee report. Marcos says,
Well, I've read some of the filing, the complaint. Well, the Solzhen, of course, will be the ones who will argue for the government, and he tells me, Solzhen Maynard tells me that we are on a solid footing in terms of constitutionality.
Marcos notes that he does not know why the petitioners bothered to file it, as their assertion is very difficult. Among the petitioners are Davao Representative Isidro Ungab and former Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez, while the respondents include Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, House Speaker Martin Romualdez, and Senate President Cheese Escudero. Marcos says they will let the Solicitor General make the argument before the Supreme Court, adding that they are confident that the case is strong. Meanwhile, in a message to reporters last Tuesday, Solicitor General Menardo Guevara said they will comment on the petition if they are directed by the Supreme Court to do so. 8 senatorial candidates backed by President Bongbong Marcos continue to lead in the latest social weather station survey commissioned by the Strat-based group. The SWS survey asked registered voters nationwide whom they would most probably vote for as senator if the elections were held during the survey period, which was conducted from January 17 to 20, 2025. ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo continues to lead the race with 45% of votes. He is followed by former Senator Tito Soto in second place with 38%. The biggest gainer in the latest survey is former Senator Lito Lapid, who jumped from 11th place in December 2024 to 3rd to 4th place with 37%, solidifying his spot among the frontrunners. Lapid is tied in the 3rd to 4th place with Senator Bongo, whose rating also increased by 5% since last month. Senator Ping Lacson also went up 2 spots from 7th in December to 5th this January 2025 with 35%, while broadcaster Ben Tulfo retained his position in 6th place. Meanwhile, Senator Pia Cayetano tied with former Senator Manny Pacquiao in 7th to 8th spot this month with 33%. They are followed by Makati Mayor Ami Binay at the 9th spot. Senator Bato de la Rosa gained ground ranking 10th with 30%. Senator Bong Revilla fell down with the hardest this month after falling 10 places from 2nd in December 2024 with 33% to 11th to 13th in January 2025 with 29%. TV host Willie Revillame likewise went down several notches from 8th to 9th spot to 11th to 13th in 1 month. Former Senator Kiko Pangilinan was able to enter the winning circle after his rating went up from 20% in December to 29% in January 2025. He's currently tied with Revilla and Revillame in the 11th to 13th spot. The SWS survey was conducted through face-to-face interviews with 1,800 registered voters with a plus-minus 2.31% margin of error for national results. President Bongbong Marcos reiterates that there are no missing items in the signed 2025 General Appropriations Act. During his speech at the 20th National Convention of Lawyers in Cebu City on Thursday, January 30, Marcos mentions that he had read all 4,057 pages of the General Appropriations Act last December before signing it.
Because I reviewed it, analyzed it, and yes, in parts, vetoed it. And so for those of you, and up to now, I cannot find those damned blank items. We'll keep looking, but I really am convinced that they simply do not exist because it is not allowed to exist.
The national budget for 2025 has been hounded by controversy in the past few weeks after Davao City 3rd District Representative Isidro Ungab revealed in a televised interview that there were blank items in the Bicameral Conference Committee report. This stirred scrutiny and confusion as some asked how the General Appropriations Act was signed if missing items were in the BICAM report. Marcos, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin and the Department of Budget and Management have all issued separate statements refuting the allegations. But last January 28, Ungab, former Executive Secretary Vic Rodriguez, and some other persons filed a petition at the Supreme Court to challenge the constitutionality of the 2025 national budget. They pointed to the existence of alleged blank items in the BICAM report as the reason why they went to the High Tribunal. A substitute bill to minimum wage hike proposals agreed to be at 200 pesos across the board has been approved by House of Representatives panel. During the House Committee on Labor and Employment hearing on Thursday, January 30, the majority of lawmakers present voted in favor of the unnumbered substitute bill, a consolidation of three proposals under House Bill numbers 514, 7568, and 7871. The proposed 200 peso per day salary increase for minimum wage earners is higher than what the Senate approved. Last February 19, Senate Bill number 2534, which proposes a 100 peso daily minimum wage increase for private sector workers, was approved on third and final reading. House Bill number 7871, filed by Deputy Speaker Raymond Mendoza of the TUCP Party List Group, asked for 150 pesos across the board wage hike for all workers in the private sector. On the other hand, the Macbayan Bloc filed House Bill number 7568, which seeks a 750 peso wage increase. A United States passenger plane carrying 64 people crashed into Washington, D.C.'s chilly Potomac River after colliding mid-air with a military helicopter on a nighttime training exercise on Wednesday, January 29, prompting a major emergency response and the grounding of all flights. The plane had been about to land at nearby Reagan International Airport after flying from Kansas. According to American Airlines, whose subsidiary operated the flight, there were 60 passengers and 4 crew members on board the aircraft. A U.S. Army official said the helicopter involved was a Black Hawk model carrying 3 soldiers. The status of the soldiers are currently unknown. In a separate statement, a military spokesperson said the soldiers had been on a training flight. However, a massive search and rescue operation was in progress, with divers visible as they plunged into the snow-lined Potomac. In an official statement, U.S. President Donald Trump said he had been fully briefed on the incident, but less than 4 hours after the disaster, and while other officials stressed they were waiting for investigations to unfold, Trump went on social media to critique the air traffic control, saying that the situation should have been prevented. The Federal Aviation Administration ordered the grounding of all planes at Reagan National Airport. Washington police said there is no confirmed information on casualties yet and that multiple agencies were responding to the crash site in the Potomac. Internet personality and entrepreneur Rosmar Tan Pamulaklaking backs out in the Manila City Council member race. Pamulaklaking went to the Commission on Elections Law Department in Palacio del Gobernador on Thursday, January 30, to officially file her certificate of withdrawal as a City Council member aspirant in Manila City's 1st District. However, COMELEC staff told her to lodge this document to their 1st District office in Manila. Pamulaklakin cites her pregnancy as one of the reasons behind her withdrawal from the council member race.
And before din kasi humingi rin ako ng parang sign kay Lord, sabi ko nga, mabuntis ako, edit sabi hindi talaga para sa akin, hindi politika. Nabuntis na. So, back out na lang talaga.
She's expecting her 3rd child and is now 3 months pregnant. Pamulaklakin filed her certificate of candidacy on October 1, 2024 and said she first thought of backing out since November last year.
By November siguro, little time na parang nawala na ako ng grad na sabi ko, dito talaga gusto maging politician.